आजको भिडियोमा चाहिँ मैले I had participated in one of the panel discussion for job seekers-हरुलाई कसरी job पाउने ह्यान त्यान भनेर अनि मा चाहिँ I have clipped together a few I couldn't put the whole thing because it was एकदमै धेरै नै long. It was almost 1.5 hours, so I couldn't put all of it. Important things अनि त्यसपछि I'll also try to make sure that throughout the video I pause and I point it out so that it's easier for you guys to understand. So I hope you like it. I hope it's useful. Hello. How are you?
Really good. How about you?
Welcome everybody. I'm Preeti, founder of the Great Nepali Diaspora. I'm so glad everybody's here. With the Nepali Diaspora, we're trying to help our community, Nepali community. Like kasari huncha, we're just trying to figure out how to help each other.
Thank you so much for joining. First of all, panelists on such short notice, and everybody else. Feels like whatever we do, there is like somebody from your own country that you were born with, or that you are related with, that you can talk to or get help from. Yeah, we can move on to our main discussion today. We want you to know like what worked for various peoples in various industries on how they landed a role, how they landed internships, jobs, the panelists. So we have 4 today: Prashant, Simran, Nishit, and Roshan.
Hi everyone again. I'm Simran Casey. I was born and raised in Kathmandu. I did my bachelor's in business administration, majored in finance. After that, I worked for like around 3 years for a media and marketing company, Australian company, really focused on accounts, and less part of it was finance. But during that time, I realized that I'm more interested in the finance side of the work, and which is why I decided to pursue my finance degree here. I'm currently doing my master's in finance at Clark University. I'm graduating next month. Finished my internship with Qatar Capital Management, which is basically an investment management firm. I have also received a full-time job offer with another financial services firm, which is called Monroe Financials. It's in Chicago. That's it, I think.
Cool, thank you. And Roshan.
Hey everyone, I'm Roshan Gautam. I'm originally from Butwal, Nepal.
Hi guys, I'm Nishith. I'm a senior right now. I'm actually doing my 5th year program.
I'm a junior at Valparaiso University. I'm majoring in actuarial science.
So yanira chai I skipped everyone's detailed introductions because of some privacy concerns, and also so that we could move straight to the point and get started.
So first step was basically making my resume. To do that, you can go to your, career center in your university, or you can reach out to people who have already worked in that company.
I started with my resume. I thought my resume was pretty good, but later I found out it was a piece of trash. So I went to my career center. They really helped. I would suggest people to, just be confident about talking about everything that's on your resume. So don't put anything on your resume that you cannot talk about confidently.
So Simran, what are some things that you would like suggest people like just stop, or like that didn't work out for you and you feel like there was something, so people don't like waste a lot of time doing things that's currently not working maybe?
Something that didn't work for me. There's this popular opinion that you should tweak your resume for the job requirements. I disagree. Tweaking your resume for every job, I have seen people waste a lot of time doing that, and I think that's not very necessary. Like using that time to apply for more jobs and reaching out to more people, I think that would do more benefit than editing your resume for every other role and putting more time on that. If you have that extra time, of course, why not? But if you have limited time, I think you should skip that and focus more on applying and reaching out.
Yeah. I remember my own experience, and that's one thing I did. Like, I didn't try to like edit my resume a lot, so I
Yeah.
used to apply in batch. So it's like today into like apply for a lot of jobs in batch and see if it worked. Like wait for a few days and then tweak some things. Right, just sort of like as a research.
During the first few months, I did like not tweak, but I did keep on like trying to improve it. Took suggestions, reviews, like whoever is in that field, I would ask them to review my resume and make sure that it's as good as it could get. But after a point when you know that you have a good enough resume, you should focus more on finding the correct roles and reaching out instead of just like editing your resume for every skills and every requirement. That doesn't really make sense.
Cool. Thank you.
Wish I knew the stuff that I do right now back then. And I feel like the community like this is really helpful with that, because you have people who already went through stuff like this and who are willing to share. And another thing that really helped out would be getting referrals. So I had someone who worked at Amazon from my university, and I met him in Seattle when I was there. So I basically hit him up.
I think the part about referrals is like, I think I think it just helps you get through that automated process much faster and get your resume in the hand of a real person, real HR person.
Use your resources. I would say, like your friends, you have your professors, you have a career center internship, just in casual conversations. And that casual conversation would turn into a topic. Oh, what you're looking for? My friend is working over this area. Do you want to talk to him? Just get those contact details and like share a follow back on them. That way you can pass out, you can be way ahead of those like thousands of applicants going through that automatic tracking system. You could be way ahead of them.
So Simran, how did you leverage sort of your networks and connections? How did you reach out or approach? Is there anything else? Like, is there any groups that you were in or anything that particularly helped you out?
So I think one of the things that really helped me was finding finance professionals from Nepal in working in US or something like that. Just the algorithm in LinkedIn brings you a bunch of these people who are working in finance or whichever sector you are in. I just reached out on LinkedIn. There was not no like specific trick or anything. I just reached out to a lot of people who were mainly recruiters. Following up, I made sure that I was not too much in their face. I made sure I was respectful, but also constantly following up. Like at least wait for a week before you hit them up again. Make sure that you put your point straight and you are very respectful of their time. And you have done your research about their work and mention some, like in any ways you can, like mention something that shows that you have done your part of the job, that you have researched or learned something about them.
Adding on to that, about putting yourself out there, I think there's also another aspect of, so there are like a lot of communities in America where they kind of like have separate programs to like help people break into industries. Like, for example, I don't know if you guys have heard of NSBE. It's National Society of Black Engineers. For example, there's SHIP as well, which is Society of Hispanic Engineers. So these kind of organizations, obviously we're not from that community, but we're still minority, and these people are really accepting. For example, I had a friend who was in the Hispanic organization, and he invited me to the conference as well. And I went to the conference, and I got to connect with different recruiters. They hit me up. I got, I think, 2 interviews from the conference itself.
Something that really worked for me was I started really early. I think when I look back now, I feel really grateful that I did. Even during my 3rd semester, I was already looking for jobs. And I knew it was too early back then, and I had so many rejections, but I learned. And now when I look back, I feel so thankful that I started early and I have a job before I'm graduating. So if someone is watching who's like still in their 2nd semester or 3rd semester, you still have a year to go. It's never too early, I think.
And I know I didn't used to believe in this, but I think interviewing is actually a skill that you can master. It just comes with a lot of practice, I think. I mean, looking back, my first interview was absolutely like really, really bad, but now I think it's pretty decent. So I think it's definitely something people can practice.
Most of us have skills, but I think not all of us are good at selling those skills. We know what to do and we know how it's done, but we don't know how to sell that skill. Having a story in your mind ready and prepared will help you in interview. After a few months of applying, I made sure I had stories for each skills and each experiences. That was something I worked really, I put a lot of time on. So having those stories ready and prepared will help you during the interview a lot.
I was not only working on my field, I was working in other field as well. I know it's not the same, but it will give you some experience, some exposure to talk about people, to make connections, to have that relationship with people, and just having some interviews with so many people.
When I applied for the internship, I was not really very interested in that role because it was more investment management side of the finance, and I was more focusing on corporate side of the finance. But I did go forward with that internship, and now I'm so thankful that I did because it helped me land my full-time role. If you have the option, of course, go for whatever you want to. But then if you are really looking for something for like experience, don't limit yourself to certain roles and keep yourself open to different roles as well.
So in terms of like putting yourself out there, I feel like don't just focus on things that you are comfortable with or things that you know, but I think you should also explore other communities and resources that are already out there. For example, I interviewed for software engineering as well as product management. And although they have a lot of overlap, I think it's a completely two different disciplines. A good strategy, to be honest, like in order to get the feel of the industry and the interview process itself, you can just apply to like anything that you can find and just get the exposure to the interview process so that you can build up that confidence, practice the interviews as well.
We have time for, I think, one more question. So there is one in the chat. Going off on that, Preeti, would you be able to talk very briefly on how the job seekers can leverage the community of the Great Nepali Diaspora during their search?
Sure. I mean, one thing is our community is still very new, right? So, I mean, when you compare it to other more established communities, I think we're learning to network and really help each other out and so on. What I've seen, there have been a lot of good things that have come out of the community in terms of people giving references, people, the hiring managers really being that direct point of contact and so on. So we're hoping it sort of accelerates. In the community, they're there to support. Once they know you're part of a community, people are a little more responsive, so that helps. And like Simran was saying, right? Even if they're Nepali, if you do the basics in terms of being respectful of people's time and act professionally and so on, it helps.
I really want to thank everybody who joined today, especially the panelists, like for being willing to volunteer their time to come here and have a conversation about their process. So thank you so much, all four of you.
Thank you. Last thing before we end the meeting. I think what you have done and what the community has grown to become is really something great. I felt so happy when I found this space. It's a great initiative. We're always here to help you in whichever way we can.
Thank you so much. And I think everybody sort of contributes to it, right? Just you guys just being on a panel to share your learnings is so important, right? People would struggle. And then you would eventually find a job, be successful, but nobody would learn from it. What we're hoping is by sharing your, learnings, good and bad things, whether you applied for 50 jobs or 800, right? People can learn from it. So you can, I took a lot of notes, right? And I think everybody can learn from that. And I'm hoping the community becomes better that way. So thank you, everybody. I am so grateful to all of you.